Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Moose and Salah. Um, as most everybody knows by now, the past week, um, peaceful protests in Baltimore, Maryland, um, got just out of control with a lot of rioting and stuff like that, burning, things like that. Um, due to the murder of yet another brother, another black man, um, Freddie Gray, in which his spine was severed in police custody. And so the people, of course, went out to protest as they well should have. And as I said, it like got out of control with I guess other people who took it to another level. Good or bad, I won't comment on that. Baltimore is not my personal reality. So far as me being in that particular community, Um, I know back home in North, hey, we would have we would have, protested too. Inshallah, would not have led to a riot. Took us a long time to get over the one that happened in '68. I lived through the aftermath all the way up into the '90s. So far as the stores, burned out stores, shot out windows and project buildings, like way up. They had like snipers come out. They had a National Guard come out. Same type of stuff that was going on all over the country in Watts and stuff like that happened in North New Jersey. So I feel where the Baltimore people are coming from, and you know, I won't touch that too much because again, it's not my personal reality. So I'm not there. I don't live there. I can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but in saying that, there is a there's a mom and her son who has gained national attention because the mom rolled up on her son, started busting him in his head, like, get your little self up out of here with this rioting. This is not how you were raised. I love it because she was like, take off that hood, take off that mask. Child, that would have been me to the hilt, let me tell you. But I applaud her for that, as well as many other people have. So, of course, there are, as usual, an opposite opinion pertaining to that. You have a lot of people who are, saying, they got something to say about her cussing at the boy, slapping on the boy, all that kind of thing. Um, I'm from the old school. My mom would have yanked me up, and that kept us out of trouble. Um, but so I want to sort of speak on that as I guess a part of the topic of today, but the bigger overall I guess thing I want to talk about is about aggressiveness of black women. How people, especially black men, always want to talk about black women are aggressive, black women are this, black women are that, and then furthermore compare us to white women in particular. Um, Now, I guess maybe a couple of weeks ago, one of my sons and I, we did a video um, on a we did a video on a video that a niece of mine had on Facebook, that some dude put up about black women being submissive with white men but not black men, and so we had our little talk on camera about that. However, I did it when we were outside. We were on our little morning walk, and I didn't realize how windy it was until I recorded it and uploaded it, and it is just a hot mess. It's horrible. You can hear some things, but golly, it's like that one was just whipping. And so I put it up, and then too, I was facing in the wrong direction in the sun, so I looked like a monster. So I put it up with the intention that I would like fix it after I realized how it was. With the intention of fixing it. But then people started watching it, and I'm like, do I take it down or what do I do? So I just want to say, inshallah, I'm going to get to that to try to do something to it. For one, I haven't had the time, and also, my skills not up like that, so I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to try. But so this is sort of in the same spirit of that, so far as talking about um, aggressive, aggressive black women versus meek white women, because both of them are crazy. I know tons of black women, and I know a lot of white women also, and y'all tripping. But anyway, um, anyway, so kind of standing on the shoulders of this mom. I believe her name is Tanya Graham. Standing on the shoulders of her to sort of usher in this one-sided conversation or talk. Um, One of the things that you hear an awful lot out there, especially on the internet, about how black women are aggressive. Black women are like this, black women are like that. And then, as I said earlier, we are compared to white women. Let me say to you, there is no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. And I will tell you why. Black women have a reality that no other woman has, um, or has had, but also definitely white women just do not have it. Black women, we have, and I'm only talking about our history here in America or in this country, in this land, um, that was robbed from from the natives, um, who were, exterminated. Don't get me started. But anyway, since we've been here in this land, I'm only talking about that. So you're talking about black people who have suffered through kidnap whilst still in Africa. So kidnap, um, the transatlantic slave trade, so the actual transport from Africa to here in this land. We've suffered through slavery. We have suffered through through Jim Crow, segregation. We've suffered through lynching. We've always suffered through the killing and maiming of our children and of our loved ones, um, either through lynching, through being whipped and beat to death, all sorts of things. We've suffered through having our children ripped away from us in all sorts of forms. We have suffered through poverty. We have suffered through hunger. We have suffered through horrid neighborhoods, the slums that have been given to us. We have suffered through, jail. We have suffered through civil rights. We have suffered through protesting and marching and riots. We have suffered through having our homes burned simply because we're black, not even because we're doing anything, simply because we're black, simply because others felt that they have the right to do this because for them, we are beneath them. We have suffered through rape, sodomy. We've suffered through our men being raped and sodomized. People don't often talk about that, but men were also being raped and sodomized throughout history here in this country at the hands of white men. Um, we've suffered through um, being forced to take care of children who are not ours. What little nutrition we had in our bodies, we were forced to suckle white children as opposed to our own. We suffered having to be taken out of the home in order to work at other people's, homes and establishments, white folks, um, and therefore couldn't be at home. We've had to suffer through watching our husbands go through, the men in our lives, go through distress and just everything that entails all these things. We've had to watch them go through it. We've had to we've had to hold those men up, um, suppressing our own unhappiness, our own um, sorrows, our own you know, uh, what's the word? Wanting to give up our own just everything in order to hold up the other people within our sphere. We've had to do these things, and so if that don't give you a tough skin, I don't know what the hell will. We've had to do these things and we're only talking about here in this country. So approximately 400 years or more we've been going through this up until this day. We still go through it. It's still a very real reality in the lives of Black America and Black women in particular. So when you come talking about, oh, Black women so aggressive, you don't mind us being aggressive when we're protecting y'all asses. You just don't. You want that aggressiveness. You don't want a woman who's just going to sit back. Well, let's just pray on it. You seem to want, at least in theory, you seem to want someone who, in your mind, because again, I don't know what white women y'all talking about. White women I know, they ain't coming with all that. And that's not to say that they're not nice and sweet, just like the Black women. Because, we do what we do. We take care of our men. However, Black and white women. However, somewhere in the psyche of, I think, weak, insecure, insufficient, inadequate men, because in my opinion, these are the ones who make these statements about Black women. Um, and it's just not some like arbitrary, concept. I'm talking about guys who I've known, men who I've talked to, men who, they kind of make it clear in their little, their videos and stuff like that. Um, they just seem to be weak and insecure to me. And they somehow have in their mind that to get a white woman means that she's going to be massaging your feet, picking a lint from between your toes or something like that every night, giving you massages, rubbing your belly like you're some little, puppy dog or something like that. Um, and but regardless, even if you could get that from every white woman there is in America, even if you could get those things, it's irrelevant in comparison. White women have not had that reality at all. They have had nothing near the reality that we Black women have had just in this country alone. Now, it's not to say that I believe white women have not had it hard on levels, because they have. I think women in particular are hated and looked down upon. And if it wasn't for the sex, dudes would just want us obliterated from the earth, you know. Um, so they certainly have had it hard also. I'm not saying they didn't, and I'm not saying they don't, because again, I know some white women, who are with Black men and who are with white men. Um, so speaking from a more personal view, I guess. But also, if you just check out different things, it ain't like they, got it all sweet. Like they have had no suffering or anything like that. However, what they have gone through will never, can never, have never um, compare. There can't be a comparison. And so, um, I think this woman, Tanya Graham, is a great example in that we have reality in here. All these people that folks want to write little Facebook comments about or videos about, Freddie Gray, Michael Brown, all these people, they had moms, and they had Black moms and Black sisters and Black aunties, i.e., Black women. And so they also suffered with the things that happened to their men, and have to wear that. You have to be strong. You have to be strength. You have to keep the family going. Even though you want to break down and you just want to give up, you got to keep it going. And you can't just keep it going with like, oh, we're just going to pray, or oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Like Black men seem to have a problem with Black women. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta come. I'm kicking this damn door in. Move. Give me my child. Move. What do you mean you have my husband locked up? What do you mean this? What do you mean that? What do you mean, I gotta go to work. Me, I go to work. Alhamdulillah, I have a career. I've had businesses. Um, I go to school now. I have two sons. I have two daughters. And it ain't easy raising children in this country, and certainly black males in this country, because my sons, my daughters also, or me, my sons, my husband can be either one of these boys. It is the luck of the draw. Freddie Gray could have been my son. Freddie Gray could have been my brother, or my husband, or my uncle, or any of my cousins, which I have a gazillion of. Could have been any of them. We have to wear that reality. Black men, you're out there, and it's your reality that, this could happen to me. It's also our reality that, this could happen to him. And what's going to happen? What am I going to do? How am I going to handle this? It's something that's in your mind. It's freaking stressful, man. People talk about PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. PTSD is present. You know what I'm saying? Present trauma. Not just, some only things that have happened to us, which are still in our DNA. If you have not, I would suggest that you kind of do some reading and history and things of things that black women in particular had gone through like slavery and the like. The reason why I'm saying black women in particular, because when you look at um, how they were treated by the slave master, how you have a fear put into the black woman, that she's going to spread to her children and her family, because by any means necessary, keep your family safe. That's what we have to do. Anybody, I don't care what their race or whatever, your primary goal is to keep the children and keep the family safe. So, if because Master done hung up a sister, pregnant, hung her up upside down, cut her, ripped the baby out, you got the fear of God up, you got the fear of the devil up in you right now. Okay? So, those things, those fears, as most people know now, that anything a pregnant woman sees, eats, drinks, thinks, feels, whatever, goes to the child. So, these emotions, these fears and such are in us innately. It has traveled through DNA. It doesn't matter if it was 10 generations ago or however long it was. It's in us. And so we're dealing with these things. They're very real. So from that to, how Willie Lynch said, the way that you make slaves, the way you break a wench, black women, the way you break a nigga, black men, black people, is to pit them against each other. So we're still dealing with the whole light skin, dark skin thing. As I know, a lot of people might look at me and be like, what you talking about, some black woman? I am a black woman. In every sense of the word, let me tell you, my husband will vouch for that. I mean, anyway, nothing disgusting. But anyway, and so these things are put between us. And is innate. So we have certain deficiencies that we're constantly working towards. I'm trying to keep my thought because I have a lot of things going right now. We have certain deficiencies that are in our culture, in our communities, in our worlds that we're trying to overcome. And so black women, and having to deal with these things, it may come across as aggressive to people who need her to be weak for whatever reason, whether it's because I don't know. I mean, listening to brothers talk, like black guys talk sometimes online and different things, I'm like, what is your problem? Like, they were talking about somebody being submissive. You're not the creator. Who has to submit to you? I don't understand this. Black women aren't submissive. If you need somebody to bow down to you that you can control, get a damn dog. You feel me? And I don't even understand it. I ain't even gonna go there, child, because I ain't trying to stay here and talk for that long, and I know y'all want to hear me talk for that long. But so far as black women and aggressiveness, getting back on course, black women and aggressiveness, um, you have to have a certain level and a high level, in my opinion, of strength, of courage, of aggressiveness. If you want to, whatever terms we want to use, you have to have that in order to survive in this country. And black men, all this stuff y'all taught, don't make me cuss. All this stuff y'all be talking about black women, this and that, don't support the men, don't do this, don't do that. You're freaking liars. You are a liar. White women only started taking y'all not that long ago. We've always been the one there for y'all. Always. Everybody on the face of the earth hates a black man. Get it straight. They may love your culture, but they hate you. It's obvious. Black women have always been there for you all. We are there for you all now. Just because we won't take your stupidity, hey, stop being stupid. Now, does that mean there's not a lot of sisters out there that be wilding? Oh yeah, I'm from North New Jersey. I know some sisters that be wilding. However, stop trying to only point the finger at the women. We have work to do. We have work to do. Stop pointing at the black woman. Um, Lastly, I guess I want to say I've seen, I've read like commentary or statuses again from black men like dissing his sister, Tanya Graham in Baltimore. And the thing that gets to me is we as black women are damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. If no mama had been out there yanking up in them children, it would have been like, where their mamas? Where their mamas at? Where their mamas? Forget the fathers, right? Because it's just assumed that black women have children and the daddies ain't no damn way to be found. Don't say much about you men, you black men, because with y'all pointing the finger, making those accusations, you're actually pointing three at yourselves and your brothers that y'all ain't there for your children. So stop pointing the finger at women like, black women are a bunch of harlots running around, having babies, giving enough to everybody, and then can't keep a man. The man is leaving his child, his responsibility, and you're going to have to deal with it at maybe not in this world, but in the next world, inshallah. But so if we don't do anything, we're damned. If we go out there and do something, I ain't seen no brothers out there yanking that little young boy up. If we go out there and do something, do you want to talk about that? Sit down, shut up, get a pen, a piece of paper, and take some freaking notes. Because you all should have been out there. You all should have been doing something. It's not the fault of the black woman that the black community is in the state that it is. It is a collective thing, okay? And I ain't even going to talk about why we're in this state, which is greatly no fault of our own. But just talking about the responsibility that is and that should be ours, it is not the black woman alone. And if it wasn't for the black women, there would be no black community because so many of you brothers not doing anything. Y'all are not doing a thing, but sitting around talking crap, getting you some sex, getting you whatever else, and then you want to run and say, "Oh, I can't deal with y'all. God gave me a white woman." Who y'all are freaking corrupting too? Yo, I'm telling you, where I live, if you listen to some of these white women, they straight sound black, and it will go up in your mouth. They will. And what do we have in common? Black men. And BET, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? They like changing for various reasons, but it has to do with what we're given. We are a reflection of our men. All women, regardless of race, we are a reflection of our men. Why? Because that's the freaking way the Creator made it, yo. It don't mean that men are over women. However, there is a certain ranking system within communities, within whatever military, within school systems, within there has to be a system of ranking. So within the home, you have your elders and stuff, then you have daddy slash husband, you had a mama, you had the children. Nobody is more important than the other one. No one is over the other one. No one has the right to be stepping their foot on the other one's neck. However, there is a system. Women are the reflection of our men, period. That's what it is. So if you're gonna point the finger at the black women, then you need to be aware three are pointing back at you. Get yourselves together instead of talking about us all the time, because damn it, we need some help. You don't see it? You don't see the SOS fire sign up there calling for help, 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 help. We need help. Stop talking smack. Let's get it together. We have to save these babies or it ain't gonna be no more black people. You dig? Assalamu alaikum. Peace.